Welcome to Tetris Tuesdays at 9:59. I felt like I owed you a few minutes at the very least. So we're going to start early also because this will probably be another endurance run, boy. But the last one of the bulletproof software, I don't know why that was so hard to say, variety. We've been through it, and let me tell you, I continue to go through it up until very late last night, trying to get the, oh gosh, I'm so fried. We're gonna do the Sharp x68000 version today. I was trying for the longest time to get the NEC PC98 version going. I had the PC88 version. Strangely enough, the hardest part was getting the game. I don't know if that has to do with the fact that they started, no, I don't know about started either, but the NEC versions had some anti-piracy software built in, so maybe they're not as abandonware as the rest now. I don't know. But when I finally did get it all put together, which I do a little bit of research beforehand. I look up videos on YouTube and I'm like, okay, this is what this version looks like. It's different enough. It's worth it. And I think what's happening is I'm enjoying the hardware side of things so much, like what it looks like to actually emulate these things and kind of the nuances, and especially last week I talked about how I wished I knew what the sound chip was in the MSX2, which it's very easy to find out. I should have been able to tell you right then and there. So I was knee deep in thinking I had to do it for the PC98, and while there are some subtle differences, for some reason, when I figured it all out, I also decided that I didn't want to do it anymore, and it wasn't different enough from it kind of splits the difference between the Fujitsu and the MSX2 version. So it just wasn't quite different enough. And then when I looked at the Sharp, there's two Sharp versions, and this comes from the fact that there were, this is a computer PC revolution age of sorts. So People were constantly iterating. You know, if you think a new iPhone every year is overkill, which I would agree, they had all the more reason in the late 80s to put out these machines with updated specs. And let me just tell you about the updated specs of the x68000, because it was between that and the Sharp X1, which maybe it's the way it's set up on the Tetris Wiki. Again, shout out and thank you. They had the Sharp X1, I don't know, branding, am I right? I thought the Sharp X1 was the more current version. It's not current. The Sharp x68000 or 68K is the improved version of the two. Came out in, I think, well, let me tell you, 1987, so just a year before. And it probably, I'm guessing, ran, you know, X1 games or programs, because we are, I don't know if we're done with the microcomputers here, but I think we're definitely graduating beyond the microcomputer revolution. And the Sharp x68000 looks like, I mean, it says right there in the logo, it's a personal workstation. So pretty fancy. It turns out that it had graphics hardware similar to arcade video games of the late 1980s. Custom coprocessors that supported tiled backgrounds, large numbers of sprites, which I don't think we're going to use any of that for a little game like Tetris, but there's some surprises. There's some fanciness about this one that I think you guys might like. Actually, yeah, check this out. Have a gander. There she is. Not an unattractive piece of hardware, I don't think. That mouse, I would like to get some ergonomic hands on, I think, but the two, that's not two separate computers. I guess this had a pretty iconic, I guess, it's not the word they used, but noticeable two-tower display or setup the way they did it. So, which wasn't rare. It just wasn't necessarily surfaced or maybe as big. You know, the disk drives, I've been noticing, especially when it comes to microcomputers, were always an add-on. Okay, not always, but a lot of the time. So the audio is run by a little old guy named the Yamaha YM2151, or quite possibly had an OKI in it. Looks like maybe there was a couple different sound, or it had both. I don't know. But the Yamaha was very similar. Hold on. Yes, the same, in fact, that showed up in some of their DX keyboards. So you'll probably notice a little bit of a sound similarity there, I think. Wish I had one of those keyboards still. Please excuse me while I get rid of some things on my glasses that will only serve to annoy me as we go through another bulletproof software endurance run, because the rules are the same, guys. So we might as well get into it. I've spoken too much already, but let me just tell you that the people I'll tell you two people that I need to shout out. Nope, there she is again. All right. The fine folks at XM6 is the emulator we're running this week. But also, I already had this. There's an emulator pack out there that I downloaded, I think once we started doing the BPS, because these are all Japanese games. These are always largely Japanese systems. The MSX, I think, did come out of, or did go beyond Japan, but the Sharp x68K did not. This was only sold in Japan, if I understand correctly. So you could probably get one if you wanted, but it's not how it was back then necessarily. So not only do we have this excellent emulator in XM6, but it was already on my computer because I downloaded the Neo Kobe package of emulators off of archive.org, which did I end up using for the MSX? I can't remember. I remember it was delightful, whatever I used, but no, I think that was a Mac version. That was something different. Okay. Either way, Neo Kobe, if you're looking to emulate any of these Japanese systems that we're doing the games on, highly recommended. And it's because they come, like they're emulators that Neo Kobe hasn't made. He's just repurposed and a lot of times made like nice little pre-packaged versions of them, especially where some of the emulators can emulate certain machines and stuff like that. He has these versions ready to go that are all set up to do the certain machines. So really nice, really handy. And it took me like 5 minutes compared to the 5 hours. I think I was tinkering around trying to get the NEC PC98 version going. So in any event, how we start is by loading up our floppy drive here with the BPS version of Tetris. It also, I should have done more research on this. There is a, like if you noticed, okay, hold on, let me, don't start just yet. If you notice when I went into that, there was a semi-pro and like there are versions of Tetris out there, if I haven't talked about them already, that like are kind of these old versions, but they've been repurposed for the
bulletproof software.
Come on. Okay. Well, you got that. Probably doubly. For some reason it wasn't going through my ear yet, so you got it on the speaker too, but we're a one-man show around here. And again, I am emulating this emulator by way of emulation parallels, because this is only a PC. I didn't see any good Mac options for this one necessarily, so. Sound effects by Goblin Sound again. I find it strange I haven't ever mentioned that. It comes up every single time with one of these, so I should really do a deep dive on Goblin Sound. Just like the name of it. Music pretty similar though to what we've heard with the Bulletproof software version so far. Except for that cool sound bite up top, which if you listen to it again, hold on, take it in. It's a good song. We've heard it before, but it's good. I'm going to reset just so we can get that sound bite going again. Because you'll notice, like you can hear where it clicks on and off. Like it's accessing a file that was recorded with a mid sound floor, let's say. I'll shut up so you can hear it this time.
Bulletproof software.
Hear when it clicks off there at the end. Love it. Fantastic. Welcome to the new age. And we've been through this song, so we'll just go, assuming we can. Again, I don't know if it's the emulator here or the actual Sharp, but while it does use the same number pad keys, like you can look at the manual and it pretty much points out the same thing. They mapped the number pad to the what's not the number pad keys called, just the top row. Does that have of numbers so I can actually navigate with them? But we're going to choose 0 as always. And let's see, it would be 2 and 8 to go up and down. Have I chosen that song like every time, I think? Again, these are all like much easier on the ears than that. What was the first one we did? The Fujitsu, right, yeah, so. Oh, I'm not. I know how to do this. I think we should choose one of the other ones this time around. Actually, if I'm... maybe I did Karinka. I did. How could I forget? I did this one for the Fujitsu, and I think I did Tetris for the MSX. So let's do Troika. Again, if I had my druthers, I would be doing silence. That's how I always played. Let me turn... I tried to get the balance right on the audio, as I'm sure the developers did, but I've found a decibel difference between the sound effects and the music. So, since I'm going to be flipping, this is one with sound effects, like every time I do anything, it's gonna make a sound. So, I'm gonna make it a little bit easier on you guys, I think, here. Go down to -18. And we're back. All right. Okay, no more messing around. Probably gonna be here a while, so let's just go. And I couldn't find a great way. You'll notice quite possibly some of the... like this might look a little blown up. Still looks good, obviously, but sometimes I can't mess with... okay, here comes the Tetris. It's not a gunshot, but it's pretty memorable. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I couldn't figure out how to resize the window, so I'm gonna put a tower in the middle already. The rules are all exactly the same as we've been doing, so there is a points bonus for actually doing a Tetris, although I feel like I'm really... oh! Okay, it's alright. I was gonna say, I feel like I'm really pushing it, tempting fate here, given how many times this has not worked out for me. And I'm gonna continue to do it, especially with that line right there. Getting some decent drops. This is kind of working out. I'm not going to sweat it though. I mean, this is our last endurance run, you know, as far as I know. It's not the last of the bulletproof software versions of the game, but you'll notice quite conspicuously, maybe, that, oh, should I tell you? Spoiler alert. So the next version of Tetris we're gonna do, wow, this is ugly. I gotta start taking some really ugly hits here. Oh, I can turn off next too. How did I do that before? Okay, well. Fans of the show will know I'm very bad at making these particular concessions. That was crazy. Where I take the hit and put the piece. But needed to be done. I spoke over the soundbite again. Sorry. I'll be more aware next time. Okay, now I feel better about. Yeah, I'm guessing this computer wasn't anything to sneeze at. Given all the gradients, the true sign of a powerhouse computer. How many gradients are on the screen? The hearts are kind of a gradient, but I'm more thinking about the pieces there. Already gonna do this? Again, doesn't matter. Just need to go. There's a little bit of lag in between button presses, but it doesn't feel like the emulator's chugging. I'm gonna guess that's how it would have been in real life with the Sharp. I guess it's kind of a gunshot when the piece drops. Still nothing like the Fujitsu. That was the version that had a cannon blast every time a piece fell, right? Am I making that up? It's getting to the point where I've played a few of these now. I'd say let's see if we can beat my high score, but it's like I lost all interest in high scores when I realized there was like almost nothing you can do to die in this game. Didn't need all those.
Way to go!
Hey, thanks. I mean, they could have had him say, "Oh, this is fun. Look at this. 4 in a row." It's a little bit surprising that it's not a different soundbite every time, but I guess maybe that's where the powerhouse x68000 finally ran into some limitations. Because so far the games have been pretty conscious, I think, of, I mean, I guess that's not, they didn't necessarily invent that. That was probably an arcade thing as well, where you would play, I mean, you weren't, this wasn't the entire reason why you were playing to quote unquote beat a game, but the reward of, you know, that little bit of whatever it was, you know, that screen, that 2-frame animation of Ryu punching a waterfall. No. Not that. Whatever. Pretty close here anyway. Right? 13 lines to go. I think I'll be okay. Not a great place for that. Or that. What is happening? Promise I'm not doing this on purpose. Wow. This is not good. Oh boy. We're back. We are okay. It's weird. Sometimes it does appear to keep up with my button presses.
Way to go.
Thank you. I don't hear the audio click on and off for way to go. I don't know what's going on there. Okay, maybe I'm being a little sloppy. I will give you that much. Not that I don't want to be here for 2 hours, which I think has been the minimum so far, and that was only because I had it hard out. Had a thing I had to go to. Didn't think ahead that far this week. Do not have a hard out. Might be subjected to my own crippling ability to finish things. Every piece has a gradient. That's the level we've reached. So there are, oh geez, what was the, for any newcomers here? 10 stages of 6 rounds each. What is happening here? Oh, not. Gotta be in the app. Speed does increase, and this has been the issue. This is why we're going to be here for a while. Speed does not increase enough, for one. But it also doesn't increase at all per round. So it's not like probably getting some way to turn off next. There it is. Next is off.
to go.
So, I mean, this is stage 4. This doesn't increase that much at all. Period. But it certainly doesn't between rounds. If there was like a base... Wow, I spent a long time on that. Still got it wrong. Base speed increase per round. That would be something. There does not appear to be. So yeah, next week is the Famicom version. Still developed by Bulletproof Software. You know, if you've seen the movie, it's that little orange cartridge, a little orange package that he takes to Elorg and is like, look what we did. And Elorg, which this is not just in the movie, this is actually what happened, if I understand correctly. Elorg says, you bootlegged our game. And was apparently scary enough about it that they went back and kind of retroactively figured out a contract that made that game not illegal. Because there was a, you know, the big old rights kerfuffle that kind of that movie deals with for the most part. I mean, why I like that movie. Yeah, let's talk about the Tetris movie. That's what we do. Is because it does a surprisingly good job of also being a, I don't know, surprising, I guess. I don't know. You didn't expect a Tetris movie to necessarily be an excellent, I don't know, human interest is the wrong word, but you didn't expect there to be so much humanity in the Tetris movie, maybe, is what I'm saying. There are things about it I don't like. Let's talk about what I don't like about the Tetris movie. Everything I don't like is basically fluff. Like the stuff they put around the edges of that thing that I don't think it needed and kind of took away from it. Because again, I think the strength of that movie is the actors and the writing. You know, the script is good. Like, it's all good. Like, it all stands on its own 2 feet. And then somebody... Doesn't seem like something that would have been in the script, but I don't know a lot about that movie and who made it, so there's a chance it was, you know, one of the... It was within the original creators.
Way to go!
Thank you. Vision of the film. But there's like all sorts of... like these transitional graphics and stuff, you know, like... There's literal interstitials that are like computer or, you know, 8-bit graphics or whatever. You know, that's like back in Tokyo, and then the establishing shot is a, you know, pixel version of Hank's apartment or something like that. Didn't love those, actually, for whatever reason. We all have our nitpicks. But also it would... I like the concept is the strange thing, and I've done this plenty of times, you know, like, I see what you're going for, and I like that you're going for it, and I don't like it. I don't like what it ended up being, you know, which I have plenty of creative moments like that in my life, so it's, you know, certainly nothing worth getting upset over or anything like that. Just when you think about movies and continue to think about movies and can't stop thinking about movies, you have little issues like this. But I like the idea that the game, you know, it's like their little stab at the Tetris effect. You know, can't imagine you're watching this video and you've never heard of the Tetris effect before, but it's the idea. It happens with other games too. It's just apparently Tetris got the moniker because it's uniquely suited to it, but the idea that, you know, when you're done playing it, you still see the pieces, and it's not any big mystery, or, you know, like when I say it happens with lots of stuff, you can do any one thing for a long time. You know, it's like staring at a computer screen all day, and then you're trying to go to sleep at night. You know, there might be some deeper reasons, but and you see, you know, some of the images are burned into your mind, or whatever it is. So happens with plenty of things, but I feel like the movie was trying to manifest the Tetris effect in the film itself with the stuff it was doing, you know, like with the Tetris blocks breaking into reality, you know, the car cheese scene at the end of that movie, wherein the cheese cars are chasing each other. They'll like hit a wall and the whole vehicle will kind of break into blocks for a second and come back. It's just it's neat. If I had created the effect myself, I would be over the moon and probably put it on everything I own, but didn't think the movie needed it necessarily, and took away from it. I mean, by the end of that movie, they're making, which I think the car chase scene is probably the most fabricated, one of the most fabricated bits. I don't know, I could be wrong about that. Tetris Forever coming out. Oh, we did get a release date on Tetris Forever, by the way, and I don't remember it, but maybe we'll find out how true that part of the story is when Tetris Forever comes out. But to me, it felt like the most manufactured bit of that movie. And again, I don't mind that at all, because I think it was a smart choice and it's done well, and it's supported by the rest of the film. But it, you know, I would be surprised if it was something that really happened to that extent that it happens in the film. Put myself in a position to need 2 lines because I don't care, and I deserve to die. But I can't. I'm nearly physically incapable of death. It's a lot of L pieces. That's some more of them. I don't even know. Okay, no wall kicks. Let's do that. Hey, when you're stuck in the middle of a 2-hour Tetris game, you're gonna repeat yourself a little bit. If you don't know what wall kicks are, actually forget it. I'm just going to go with what I got. We need to start making some progress here. Wall kicks are when you put the piece up against the wall, and if it lets you rotate it. Well, that doesn't count because that was a possible rotation. It's been a while since a line. I don't know. Really? Okay, we're gonna need to... Wow! There it is. Just gonna go with it here. There's a line. Only need one more though.
Way to go!
Yeah. I guess if you think about, I mean, that's a high quality soundbite there. So not be too quick to judge why there's not a different one for each level. I do kind of miss the artwork rewards, though. How the artwork would change. I mean, obviously that was Spectrum Holobyte, not Bulletproof Software, but I miss that little reward. And personally, just personally, again, left to my own devices, I stopped patronizing the music of a Tetris game long ago when I found that the increasing speed just stressed me out and did not improve my performance towards the end. So, personally, I enjoy when there's just a little music stinger. Taking some big hits here. Going for it. There's the line. These just aren't good pieces. Not helping me out here. Not what I'm trying to do. Lines. It's gonna be tight, I think. I probably should have put that over there. Yep. Yep, definitely should have. Come on! That one was okay. That one was not. Also not.
Aw, too bad.
Fantastic. Can we figure out whose voice that is? I'm not gonna cry over losing a life in the first round. Aw, too bad. Can't even get it, really. Gotta be a developer, right? Who at Goblin Sound recorded the voice clips? Also, was Goblin Sound like an entity within Bulletproof Software, or is it like an artist that they employed? It's funny, back then you don't think necessarily of game companies going to contractors like that. I mean, I could be speaking entirely out of school. I'm not saying it was unheard of, but especially for smaller developers, I feel like it was just they did everything themselves. I mean, they still do that, and I'm not just talking about, you know, independent developers doing the whole game, or single studio teams or single guy studios just doing, you know, everything one-man band style. I mean that, you know, they will have whoever down in HR be the voice actor, because, I mean, for numerous reasons. Money probably being the top there, but certainly lack of respect that probably happens to some extent there as well for the craft of voice acting. So I'm always going to side on, you know. I always appreciate the odd creative professional in what is otherwise a technical affair, which Tetris can be.
Go.
Thank you. We're back on, I like it. Now we're back on speaking terms. Friendly again, once more. Can't believe we're still in round one. This interminable version of this game. I mean, if I really cared about the score, I guess I'd be doing things a little bit differently. Probably not that. Gonna regret all of this shortly after O Tower is built. Oh, fine, whatever. Forget you guys. There's the line. Really? What about now? Not exactly what I was hoping for, but could have been worse, I suppose. Yep, that is how it could have been worse. Just an endless parade of O pieces. That's exactly how it could be worse. Oops. Let's go flat. And then regret it immediately afterwards. It's a lot of those pieces, Tetris. What am I doing? Did they tune this one up? Was that what's happening? Shouldn't have done that. Am I gonna lose another life here? That was a good drop. 10 lines to go still. Just covered up my best bet. Not gonna make that one. Made that one. Doesn't matter. Interesting.
Too bad.
It is. I mean, it's worse things have happened, honestly. Am I playing too fast and loose? Am I going for too many Tetrises? Is there such a thing? Still not hating the song. I guess I don't know if my eventual dislike of that Fujitsu version was really because the sound chip is a little harder on the ears, or if I was just still in shock from the unexpected 2.5-hour Tetris game I ended up playing. I mean, it's not the piece's fault. That is my level of play. more creative, skilled player would know what to do with some of these. That is not me. I very much need the drops to work out in my favor for my particular style of play. Not the other way around. Still loving the keyboard, by the way. If you haven't seen that video, it was kind of my unofficial... No, it wasn't really, because there was an actual official. My Tetris Tuesdays at 10 trailer. There is an actual trailer where I announced the show, but now I can't remember what came first. Before or after that, I did a video on this mechanical keyboard that I bought from 8BitDo because I knew I was buying it to use for this show. So, just by the way, still a fan. One line. Jeez.
Way to go.
Thank you. It's gotta be. Somebody knows. That's my dream. This particular series gets big enough that eventually, not just the person who recorded that particular soundbite, but just people in general that have memories. Developers would literally blow my mind if they showed up to this thing and participated or commented in some way. But the very pinnacle of that is that the fellow who recorded these voice clips shows up and gives us the hot goss on how that went down. The juicy deets, the hot goss. Maybe I should just not go for Tetrises, everybody. I'm already playing pretty fast and loose, obviously. Not afraid to take the L's. What is that all about? It's the wrong L's. Oh boy, now I need a line. I mean, I needed a line. I'm not gonna wait for a line. Just give me like an L piece though, or something. Ooh, a line. And another one! We have been saved. I still find it funny that the pieces spawn in different directions. I think I did read something about that at some point, and that does have a name. And I need to look it up again.
Way to go.
What you gonna do for roundup? Here it is. This might be the only one we hear, so shut up. Here comes the needle drop. Hold on. That was my... Oh, I'm really fried. That was my... Come on, J.K. Simmons in Whiplash. Forget it. Let's go. Three lines in a row. It's like they throw those in there just so you know it's not 7 bagging. And it starts at stage 0. It couldn't start at stage 1? Oh, that would be my fault, wouldn't it? I mean, it's not like the round goes faster if I start the level higher. Oh, maybe it does. Wait, if I start on stage 5, does that mean I'm only doing 4 or 5 stages per round? Is that how it actually works? Is that what I should have found out before the very last version of Bulletproof Software Tetris? Not the last Bulletproof Software. They made the Famicom version. I think they had a hand. They obviously had a hand in the Game Boy version, which we're going to play, but they have a hand in the actual NES version as well, not the Famicom. They are different versions. But yes, none of this craziness with those versions, because they were console versions. Is that why? Was it a hardware limitation? Was it a note from Nintendo? Because it's a solid note. As much as you can get in the zone playing Tetris and just flow state, you know, till your heart's content. I don't know if it's quite worth the 2-hour run times. O Tower has appeared. It would be fun, speaking of the keyboard, to set up. So the keyboard came with these 2 large red buttons, A and B buttons, you know, because it's patterned after the Nintendo Entertainment System. But I've yet to map them to something, so there's not a whole lot of functional use cases. They're neat, they're fun, I like them. It's not like I can actually streamline my workflow with them. You know, I mean, editors do a lot of strange things with a lot of strange keyboards. I don't know that I could figure that one out. Maybe I could turn it into like clip cut, you know? I just hit a button to cut a clip. I mean, at this point it's just B, so it's not like I'm barely saving a button press there. Also, when you're cutting clips in an editor, I know some people do it this way, but sometimes you put the playhead where you want and then you can just cut where the playhead is. I'm not, for some reason that doesn't, I don't know, doesn't click with me as much.
Way to go.
Thank you. That was better. Way to go. Interesting that the piece would go there. Wow, nowhere near my high score of the other games, if this is scoring the same way, which it should be. Single is 40, double is 100, triple is 300, a Tetris is 1200. The piece was hard dropped, an amount equal to the number of rows covered by the hard drop plus 1 is added. Otherwise, no score for dropping is added. Points are only totaled up after the stage is cleared or if a life is lost. Maybe it's because I'm not. Maybe I was throwing down more Tetrises in the other games. Maybe I cared more with the other games. I mean, I guess I didn't die or lose a life as quickly in the other ones, so I don't know. Yeah, you keep pushing that L piece, but it's not the one I need. Actually, we can do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. I'm dumb. I like dumb things. Let's do that. Let's do that. Oh, guess we're going for it. Anybody got any plans for the holidays? Talking about Halloween, obviously. What wieners are you watching? Wieners are movies, Halloween-themed movies. Call them wieners.
Way to go.
Yeah! Oh, there's the score right there. Didn't go up that much though. Yeah, it feels like maybe this one's a little stingier with the points, actually. Which... if I'm gonna sit here for 2 hours and play a Tetris game, I at least want to see the scores balloon. You know, I want it to be meaningless but huge. You're telling me... Wow, really, this is bad. I'm cutting it off at the legs. You're gonna tell me I get to sit here for 2 hours. You're gonna give me reasonable numbers? This is not gonna work out for you. How do you expect to make money on the 1988 bulletproof software version of Tetris for the Sharp? Hold on. x68000 line of personal workstations. Nope, I knew it the second I thought about doing it, and I did it anyway. Combo, look at that. Was that a threefer? Does feel like it's going faster. How long have we been here already? An hour. Yeah, this seems easy breezy so far. We couldn't possibly go for that much longer, could we? Taking it. Way to go. Six rounds? I have to keep looking this up. 6 rounds? 10 stages, 6 rounds. Good gosh. I'm newly amazed. Like, on the one hand, I'm excited because it's a Tetris, like, skill-wise, I could probably beat. Like, it's the easiest, slowest version of Tetris to play. And then they do 6 rounds. They do 60 levels. I can beat the NES version. I have done that in the past. And yes, it can be beaten. In fact, I didn't find this out till later in life, so I wasn't doing it when I was a kid, when I was originally playing the game. But there are different end screens depending on, you know, that part, the part at the beginning that I always skip through, that's like choose your level and your whatever. Like, you can, there's a different rocket that takes off. I think if you do start, actually now I don't remember. No, I feel like it's different. Like, if you start zeros, you do see a new thing take off every 10 levels maybe. I say take off, it's like this, it's like a little Kremlin, and there's different little rockets that take off, like literally, like rocket off. And maybe a monkey. Maybe it's not always a rocket. It's been a while since I played it, honestly. And again, didn't find this out until relatively late in life. You know, until that period in your life where you return to the games of your youth on your laptop because now you can emulate them. Didn't find out until that stage in my life. This is gross. These are gross. You've given me gross things. None of that made a line. What am I gonna do with that? That's not a thing. Whatever.
Way to go.
Way to go. Broke 50K. Be a shame if we didn't get up to 68K for the 68K. Not gonna wait for it. Not gonna wait for that either. Using a line to create a situation where you need a line. There's gotta be a name for that. See, look at that. No wall kicks. Not a single one. The Famicom and, like, I don't think the Famicom version is terribly different from the NES version. The rules might even be the same, it just looks different. But it's a much quicker play. Like, I don't necessarily, I mean, it's quicker than this. Maybe that's the issue, huh? Everything seems quicker than this. But it seems like I would be playing multiple games if I were to do a full hour on that thing, obviously. Seven to go, come on. Not the one I needed, not even close. Well, I guess it is close. I don't know. Ooh. There we go. And back to the O pieces. And back to the O pieces. One more line. Sheesh. Stage 5.
Way to go.
Yes, indeed. Wouldn't it be great if... I mean, we're already making this one life last an insanely long amount of time. But wouldn't it be crazy if it lasted even longer? Nowhere to put that. Not a single place. Similar to that one. There we go. So we got 2 lines out of that at least. That doesn't go anywhere. Three lines out of that. Didn't mean to do that. That's a lot of those. Like I'm lucking out with the lines here. Again, still. Wow. Wow. What is going on? That kind of worked out.
Way to go.
Yes, I suppose. We looking at like 45 minutes per round? Guess we'll see. Hold on. Yeah, let me remind me to look at the time once we hit. Feel the carpal tunnel setting in. Kind of worked out. I don't know. We've reached the point in our show where I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Sometimes you play long enough where I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Starts to affect your ability to know and or tell you. Luckily, I have Goblin Sound Man to cheer me on. He lets me know that I'm going in a way that is pleasing to him. Spun it around twice, didn't need to. Just showing off at this point. That is my level of Tetris play. I will rotate a piece just to show off at times. Hey babe, watch this. And then I rotate the piece just without even needing to. Pure insanity. I think I may need to lay down after this. Oh boy, here we go. I'm really asking for it now. Luckily, I got it. Okay, yeah, let's not press our luck here. Especially at level 8, which is where I died last time. Or a time, I don't know about last time. And I don't know about this time, if I'm telling you the truth. 3 lines to go. Come on, we can do that. Should have put that over there. That doesn't go anywhere. Oh, okay, all right.
Way to go.
Yeah, certainly. You can say that again. Man. Almost dropped that where I did not want to drop it. Nope. Not the intended place. Okay, can't get too high. Still got 12 lines to go here. That ain't nothing. Give me more squares. Do it. Give me all of them. Watch what I do. I don't even care. Your squares can't stop me. What? Why so many? Why these things right now? I'm not feeling super great about this, to tell you the truth. Oh, why did I do that? I might pull this off.
Way to go.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Phantom Blue in the chat. No idea why I'm here, but here I am. You and me both, Phantom Blue. I'll tell you what you're here for. This right here. Oh. This is a different image than we got for round one. So apparently we'll get a new, and let's be honest, pretty well realized image here. This is nearing photographic quality. I should be screenshotting this right now. I mean, ostensibly I'm here to try and not die at the easiest and longest Tetris game possibly ever made. That's impossible to say. It's impossible to say that any Tetris is the something ever, because there's so many Tetris games. But so far in the 16 episodes, believe it or not, that we've been semi-chronologically going through Tetris games here, this one's the longest. It's impossible to die, no matter how bad you might want to kill yourself. Probably should have put that line in the big hole in the middle of the game board, but Phantom Blue says nostalgic music. I agree. And it's not bad. I feel like I should be more annoyed with it than I am at this point, after an hour and a half nearly, but it's fine.
Way to go.
That fella says way to go every time I beat a level. She made pretty quick work of that garbage. I probably should have put it down there, so gave me a second chance. Are you a big Tetris fan, Phantom Blue? That could be why you're here. That is my going theory for why I am here. I think I might like Tetris. Says used to play in your childhood. Same. What version did you start with? Mine was the Nintendo Entertainment System. That is how old I am. We used to have cheap Chinese handheld console. Nice. Black and white screen. Yeah, I have thought about those. Obviously are it would be a I don't know what you would call that, IRL capture, you know. It would literally just be a camera pointed, you know, at the actual handheld device. But I have thought about doing that. Right now I'm roughly going by the list on the Tetris Wiki, list of official Tetris games. Suppose I could link that somewhere sometime. Way to go. But I don't remember if it calls out some of those. Need to look that up. Be fun to pepper those in here and there rather than, you know, wait till I'm done with everything and then start playing the weird ones. Just play the weird ones now. Sooner. None of these are great. Just gonna go with it. Take the hit. Get through the level. Although a line would be nice. Nope, just gonna go. There's the line. Good night, man. I'm gonna sleep now. Subscribe. We'll meet again. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, Phantom Blue. Was a delight. Hope to see you again sometime. Every Tuesday at 10, I should mention, which, if you're going to bed, is not, well, I guess could be 10 p.m., but I would guess where you are at is not any sort of 10 o'clock. Nope, that is not where it should go.
Way to go.
Way to go. Oh, starting to feel it in the back. I should look up what my past performances have been, because every single time I'm like, what level did I get to? If you missed last week, I did have to leave. I had a hard out. But once I got back, I tried to fire it up again. And I had left everything on, but it didn't take, or however you want to put that, when I tried to restart, which I should have. The emulator supported save states, so I really should have just saved a state, and did not. So when I tried to start it up again, it did not respond to my keyboard commands, and the pieces filled the screen immediately. Or slowly. Not the best looking bunch of bricks I've ever made, but yeah, what else we got in store for? Let's talk about. The last time this went crazy, I talked about just about everything under the sun. Talked about why I started this channel, the things that led up to it, which, if you want the short version, that's pretty much what all the Patreon stuff is about. But I haven't talked much about the future of this particular series, believe it or not. It's relatively new, so way to go. But I do have some. I mean, I'm not famous, but if I were, I would be famous for choosing. You know, you want to choose an idea with some legs, but I feel like that's an understatement with some of the ideas that I go for. So, in thinking that I will play some Tetris games on stream, like this series could go on forever. Quite possibly, there might be enough Tetris games in the world to last until I die. To provide a weekly stream until I die might be the actual truth. Especially if I die during this game. But I don't that isn't my intention to do this show forever, although I wouldn't hate it. It's one of the favorite things I do now on this channel. But I think part of that is just the format, so I don't necessarily need to live stream Tetris for the rest of my life, but I feel like this live stream format should be something I do for the remainder of my life, the remainder of this channel. But other than go through, and I do want to play some of the weird ones, but it is, you know, it's kind of that or chronologically, because there's not like solid dates. There's solid years so far, even though, you know, there might be some mistakes still about when these, you know, these like mainline official or eventually officially licensed Tetris games came out. It's even harder to get a date on the thousands, probably, of knockoffs, you know? It's like,
Way to go.
I keep comparing Tetris to chess, but imagine trying to stream a chess game on every type of chessboard ever made. It's not a bad analogy, honestly. So that's not the goal. But I do want to play some of the weirder ones, and I need to figure out how and when to slot them in, since chronologically is barely an option. And I did just find I think it was a DOS version. There's a DOS version, there's a bootleg I mean, some of them are very bad. So that's another reason maybe to not kill myself, kill myself, trying to find them or emulate them or whatever I gotta do, although obviously DOS not an issue, least of my worries. But I found an early bootleg of Tetris that came on, I think it just straight up came on, like was shipping with machines, which seems weird that was a thing ever. Like, no, we made our own version. It's all our own code, so we can ship it officially on a licensed product of ours. It's not how that has ever worked. I don't believe. I mean, I guess across state lines, maybe. Obviously. There's no... Is there an enforcement authority when it comes to copyright law across, not state lines? Did I say state lines? Still technically right if you are referring to the state as in the country that you live in. The magistrate. So I got to figure that out. How do we get the weird ones in? Also still need to figure out if I'm just going to straight up... Maybe I should... Hold on. Oh, yeah.
Way to go!
Way to go! Tetris Forever launch date. '12th of November. Oop, hit the mic. Sorry about that. Quite possibly the 12th of November. Remember the 12th of November. Did the window just move? That was weird. Something felt weird. Can't check it now. We'll check it in a bit. What are we at? 72,000? So we're getting up there. Maybe I just hadn't... Hope I don't regret that. Seems like a strange thing to say when it comes to this version of the game, but maybe I just hadn't played long enough yet. Really doesn't want to give me the piece that goes over there. Nope, I knew it. Didn't press the button long enough. What happens if I hold the button down? Nothing. Okay. And we're back. And You say we might be gone just as easily, but this will work. Some of them weird Tetris is real ugly, though. Not that that's ever stopped us. Apple II version. But some of them might be too ugly to spend time on. Unless, again, we get the actual developer in here. Oh, man. That's not good. Now I'm gonna get a line. It's okay. Don't need that many. 4 more lines, so we're okay. That'll do it.
Way to go.
Tetris Forever confirms the launch date, November 12th, 2024. I'm counting down the days. Let me make sure. Nope, looks like we're good. I mean, in the way that we're still playing this, but. Nope, that's not good. Let's close that. And we're back. Oh, and we're very much back. Now we're talking. I need more lines than you are currently giving me. Don't like, okay, well, we're gonna take it. Work with what you got. Look at that, worked out. Be a shame if the emulator crashed, right? Knock on wood. Maybe. Darn you and your solid emulators. I don't thank the people that do the emulation work enough. Seriously, keeping these platforms alive, preserved, if you will. Not just so I can play some silly Tetris games on the internet, but for many other reasons besides that. Not giving me a line, but kind of giving me enough to make my way down here. We also have the, I believe my mother purchased for me, can't remember if it was a birthday or holiday, the board game, Tetris board game, which does exist, is a thing, and isn't bad. Like it's you know, I've got my issues with it, but it's made by Buffalo, which my wife is a big puzzler, so I have known to partake at times as well. And I don't mean that in the Batman villain type of way, even though that's the Riddler, but you know, you get what I'm saying. She likes to do puzzles, so we do a puzzle or two here and there, and them Buffalo puzzles haven't been impressed, let me tell you. I don't know if they've remedied some of that over time or what, but the Buffalo-made Tetris board game does not make me think that they have. It's fine. You know, but I'm also the guy that will go out and buy, oftentimes, the deluxe version of whatever game. Because I like the fancy pieces. Buffalo games do not appear to have any fancy pieces. They're fine. I'll say it again. They are okay in the extreme. I don't know, this is one of those games, though, obviously, that you would... I don't know. I would still get the fancy pieces, actually. I might be biased in the direction of Tetris. But I like the game enough that I would buy higher quality versions of those pieces.
Way to go.
Way to go. Look at how much we've done with just one life. Are we on stage 9? We are. Get ready to round up, folks. Tell you what my math teacher always used to tell me. We're about to round up. I made that up. It's not true. My math teacher was more likely to tell me, listen, if you don't get your grades up, you're not going to pass. That's what my math teacher always used to say. He was a real character. Hey, great start to round 9 here. I'm thinking I might not die. What are we pushing now? Oh, we've almost hit the 2-hour mark. I started this particular episode early too, didn't I? Look at me. So proactive. I dare say this one's gonna work out. The garbage does start to become an issue, though, so... This might not actually be a Tetris game that I could eventually beat. Excited to see what the next picture is, though. Oop.
Way to go.
Yes! I agree! What do you got? The song is always the same, right? Yeah, it's the same. What are we doing at the countryside there, it looks like? I mean, those are obviously some very nice buildings. Walled in, it seems. For protection. I mean, in a way, you've basically got these early levels to get your garbage down, which, so I guess it works out that it's painfully slow, but sometimes I don't feel like playing Tetris, is the sad truth, and this game doesn't have a mode for that. This game is, what if you feel like playing Tetris and there's nothing you can do about it? For the next 2.5 hours. This is where the L pieces come in real handy. Just really any L piece. It is a very magical sound effect. It does feel like magic is happening. Not the L pieces I would have chosen. Or the S piece. For that. I wasn't even thinking about an O piece. Okay. Good gosh. There we go. Yeah, back to the O's. There we go. Yeah, give me... All I need is one. Stop. Hey, look at that. I got a line. When I needed it. Never ceases to amaze, right? Part of the reason Tetris is so good. Is you always get the rush with the line. The tension is building. You really shouldn't have done what you did. Will you get the line? Not even the line, but just whatever piece, right?
Way to go!
Way to go! I really hope this is the last of the endurance run Tetrises. I like doing this show. I really do. You notice that most of my videos are under, like, cinematic tops out at 20 minutes. I'm not sure, well, I mean, besides the episodes where I have somebody else on talking about stuff, obviously those would go longer and makes more sense and aren't draining in the same way that certainly playing a 2-hour Tetris game is draining, but even when I was doing a 2-person podcast all the time, we were very aware of the run times. I know it probably didn't seem like it at times, but sometimes, I mean, that's the podcast thing. Podcasts go long. You get to a certain point and you're like, well, this one's for the fans. So, because, you know, I am a fan of podcasts in that way. There's a podcast I listen to and they go long. It's just more of that thing I like that I listen to, right? I don't really have an issue with that. Most of the time. I've never stopped listening to a podcast because the episodes were long. Takes me longer to get through them, obviously. I'm pretty behind on Comedy Bang Bang at this point. Of course, they started doing like a bunch of bonus episodes this season. So it's partly not my fault. No, I shouldn't. Didn't we already do this? The S and O pieces? Seems very familiar. Forget Tetris effect, just about straight up deja vu. Pretty sure I've played this exact same board before. That's a me problem. Some people don't play tons and tons of Tetris. Or so I hear. Some people don't play 2 hours worth of Tetris. Online, where everybody can see them. Hey, we're building a brand here. Creating something. Much like I'll be creating food. Because I am becoming hungry. Once again. I've played a Tetris game so long that I have become hungry. Also just created my own pile of garbage there. So great. I don't know. We just need one more line. Jeez.
Way to go.
Yes. Yes. 86,000. There's no place for an O-piece in a world like this. That is something I do kind of try and do, is leave a flat spot for an O-piece when I can. Doing magnificently bad at it this time, but that is something I try and consider. Yeah, give me more green pieces. I don't care. I'll show you. I might actually get this thing down here. Oh, now we will. 4 L pieces in a row really clean things up. down.
Way to go.
Way to go! Welcome to the Tetris Endurance Run. My name is Ryan. I probably should have put that square over there. If I put this here, is that going to come back to bite me? Almost immediately. Also, no distinct sound effects for a Tetris just yet. Like the line clears all make the same sound in this one. Also, I don't know if at this point... Oh, well, okay. The Wikipedia entry does have a 4-line clear referred to as a Tetris. I guess I would need to look at the manual for this game, which I do have. But to find out if... Oh, actually, it's in Japanese, though. So, scratch that, but... If the Tetris Wiki is to be believed... Thank you. There is an actual name for the line clear, for the 4-line clear. No, that is not the place that I thought for it to go. Abandon ship. I'm not feeling really good about any of these, if you can't tell already. It's kind of working out. Not gonna wait for a line. That was a lucky draw. $14 lines to go, ain't nothing. Oh, not the O's again. Oh, that might have just saved me right there. I should put that over there. Oh, good. I've got a second chance. I think we're going to be okay. Not sure about after this, but should clean up most of the garbage, right? Oh, that was on a line. Thought that was going to be my last line.
Way to go.
I'm not so sure, actually, that time. I need at least one drink of water every 2 hours. Okay, that's doable. Wow. That just wasn't every single piece I need. It was a solid run there. Yeah, you give me the O's and S's now. I'm fine. Let's do it. I dare you. Okay, I see now. I should not have tempted fate. Oh, okay, we're good. Never mind. We're alright. Forget you. Give me all you got. Might break 100,000, which is a score for something. Did I just do that with all Tetrises?
Way to go.
No. Oh yeah, duh, there was the beginning where I had to clean up all the garbage, obviously. Can I do a stage with all Tetrises? This probably isn't the time to find out. And I kind of doubt I would get... That would be a pretty good run of pieces if I was able to do that. Not to mention the lines themselves. Yeah, this does not seem like a good idea. Because now we need a line for that right there. Yeah, I'm not gonna. Let's not tempt fate, as much as I might want to die. I feel like I'm already skating on thin ice, mister. Oh, well. Looks like it would have been okay. What are all these pieces for? Hey, that worked out. Kind of, I suppose. Less S pieces would also work out. Just thinking out loud. Well, I guess I could have waited that time. Sheesh. See, now I'm in a spot where I just got 3 lines in a row, and I need another line. That's not cool. Complete wrong piece. That's the right piece, though. Wow, I was really hoping that was going to do more. Oh, we only need 1 line.
Way to go!
101,713 points. Stage 8. I don't think we've ever been to round 4. Pretty sure that has not ever been the case. Not to get ahead of myself, obviously. As easy as this is, we need to get the level down before stage 9 is upon us. These aren't the right pieces. Ooh, that was a good draw. I was starting to worry there a little bit, to tell you the truth. I mean, we're not out of the woods yet, but could be worse. Still need 10 lines. Least helpful piece at this time. Okay. That's not great. Not where I want to be at all. I will put whatever L piece you... Oh, a line. Oh boy. That basically made the game. I don't think I was surviving if I didn't make that right then. Still might not, so. Okay.
Way to go!
Yeah, that probably right about that one. Lucky draw. Really lucky draw would be a line right now. Probably should have just used that one. Nope, worked out. Full on Tetris even. Sure. Why not? Guys, this is the worst possible case scenario. I think we're gonna make it. Two round. Oh boy, maybe not. Okay, here we go. We're gonna make it to round 4.
Way to go.
I'm falling asleep as I play, and or hallucinating, starving to death. Ooh. $1988 though, man. What you wouldn't do for a digital photograph back then. I wonder if they... I mean, yeah, they must have. I'm too much of an ignorant on this one. They can just, like, they didn't need to recreate the photo, right? Like, this isn't somebody's artistic recreation of a photo, right? Okay. If I do that, I will need another line. Well, looks like it wouldn't have mattered anyway. This will be an interesting one. Never made it to round 4. Gonna have to get the garbage down. Not really getting the pieces to do it just yet. Let's do that. Then I can take an L of any shape or size, provided I'm given an L. Come on with the green. We're gonna wait. Slide it underneath. It's kind of a lucky draw there. These are not. Oof. Wow. I don't know if I should be putting stuff there. I should have put that over there. On the left. Like that. I don't know if it's... Nope, I can't even get it over there anymore. That's probably going to end the game. Oh,
Too bad.
yeah. I mean, no, it was about time. That is perfectly fine. Let's see how I did. We've got a leaderboard on this one, probably, right? Yes, I assumed that was in a game over. Give me one more song and a leaderboard. Show me what it looks like. I still got to press a button? Okay.
got the high score.
Ah! By quite a bit, didn't I? Looks like Evgeny was topping out there. Ryan first. And there will be no Ryan second. That is some leaderboard music, though, right there. Remember when it was just a text screen that said play again? Y or N? Back to title. Woo! We did it, guys. We survived the endurance run. We survived the Tetris endurance run. Or ostensibly. Let's see if that... Nope, doesn't. Okay, there we go. So... come back next week. We're doing the family computer version of Tetris. Developed by Bulletproof Software. Released in Japan, quite possibly illegally, according to Elorg at the time. And much more. If you've got an inclination, go check out patreon.com/Ryan_runs_. That's me. Trying to do this, make this my ongoing concern. And that includes Tetris Tuesdays at 10. That includes Cinematic. There'll be a new episode on probably Magic Crystal this week with Cynthia Rothrock. And I still believe Sammo Hung's in there somewhere, although he didn't direct it. And Richard, why am I blanking on his name? Wow. When you're fried, it's the names that go first and foremost. But come back for that. He was in, he's been in a ton of stuff. We just talked about him for the first time in Millionaires Express. Anyway, come back for that. Whatever it is. See you guys.